Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace, blessing, and safety to all Akim out there pushing his truth throughout the four corners of the earth and to the hopeful elect out there. This is the brother Abadir coming back at you with another one. And I'm starting to use the chat. I see a lot of you see our apostles using the chat a lot. Brothers using the chat a lot. So I wanted to start using it. And inquiring it with my videos. So I asked the chat, how long will it take AI to take over? So it depends what you mean by take over. I'm just gonna skip to some points. AI will be everywhere and automate much of work. This is already happening gradually. Most forecasts suggest 2025 to 2035. Major automation in office work, coding, customer service, logistics, and some creative tasks. Automation spreads to more. It's like 2020, 2035, 2050. Automation spreads to more complex jobs, but humans still supervise systems. Esau's a damn lie. First of all, we ain't trying to be here till 2035. We damn sure ain't trying to be here till 2050. The Lord's gonna come back and set up his kingdom way before then. So here it is. The chat thinks it has all the time in the world to for this to take place, but we know that's not the case. It says point 2, AI surpasses humans in most cognitive abilities. This refers to AGI, human level general intelligence. And you already see what they're trying to do. They're already trying to mesh like robotics, their AI technology with with humans, with Neuralink, with other things like people who are paralyzed and whatnot. Here's another point. AI takes over society or becomes uncontrollable. This is a science fiction. This is the science fiction AI takeover scenario. There's no evidence that this is immediate. Leading AI labs and governments are usually focused on safety. Yeah, which is bullshit. This government doesn't care about your safety or any of that sense. At the end of the day, Esau, he wants full control. He wants to take over. And he's gonna do that. With his C-hip. And that's Revelation 13 and 16. He causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And we know this AI technology, digital ID, and the chip, they go hand in hand. They all work together to push forth the end goal, which is that mark, which is that C-hip that Esau is going to force everyone to get. And you best believe it's going to be a form of digital ID. It's going to be the ultimate form of digital ID, and it's going to work with AI. AI is going to play a big part in introducing that system, making it cool, making it convenient. not giving people a choice. Even today at work, I work in the construction field, and I heard some of the guys talking, and the company is or the builder is or the company of the builder, I don't know, but they want to have facial scanning, when walking onto a site. I heard this, and I immediately thought, like this is you know this is why all things lead to the MOTB. Everything, all things lead to the MOTB, and like it's gradualism. It's slowly by slowly. Right now, you know, I gotta scan a fob to walk into a site. It's basically gated off. You can't get in, and now I'm hearing this talk about facial scanning, and then what's gonna come after facial scanning? That chip. That's gonna be it. You know, and it's gonna happen. And if this type of things are happening, and if these type of talks are happening in a work sector like construction, you already know these office, retail, all these other tech companies, or whatever the case may be. They're all gonna have it as well. They're all gonna especially in China. That in China, the facial recognition, that thing is all over the place. You can't go anywhere without your face being scanned. Yes, we have cameras everywhere, but you know, to actually like scan the face and identify who you are, like on a dime, that technology, it's here. It's here, and the chip is coming. We could see it, we could feel it. This is Second Corinthians 2:11. At least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, and we see it. You know that the average Joe is gonna, he's gonna hear something like that and either think it's cool or maybe think it's weird, but they can't line it up with prophecy. They can't line it up with the scriptures. They can't line it up with Esau trying to take full control. You know, this is all the step. Here, talking about 2025 to 2035. That just shows you it's starting now. It's picking up. It's gaining speed. The more you're gonna hear about like AI, like in the AI, the facial recognition, all that thing goes hand in hand. First, it was the phone. Put your finger. So actually, it all starts with the debit card. Now you have everything on the phone. You want to unlock your phone. You put your finger on it if you don't want to actually type in a code. Gradualism, getting people ready and accepting of this technology. You know, and then now the phones have the facial recognition. You know, now they have like the open AI where you can talk to the phone. The Chat GPT. All these things lead to the MOTB. All this AI technology leads to the MOTB. People ain't paying attention. Only the prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahushai can discern, the times that we're living in, and what's going on. Psalms 37:12, the wicked plotteth against the just, and garnish garnish upon him with his teeth. So this wicked is plotting. They're coming to try to make everything cool. And what happened in 2020? Was just a teaser of what they're capable of doing. They're telling everyone they had to get the juice, and it's going to be the same thing with the chip, the AI technology. All these things are making it look cool. All this stuff is going to make it look cool to get chipped, to get C-hip. More government shutdowns. They just passed the bill to open up, the government back over there in Babylon the Great, which is America. And that was just all. That was also just a test. How desperate are people gonna get? How you know people are crashing out. You know, it's all orchestrated to lead toward that chip. All roads lead to the MOTB. AI leads to the MOTB at the end of the day. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you, having great wrath, because you know that he hath but a short time. So don't chat GPT can talk about all they want about 2025 to 2035, for certain jobs, and then 2050 for other jobs. This devil knows that he doesn't have a lot of time, so he's gonna speed things up. It's even their agenda 30. Their agenda 30. They want to completely get rid of the phone. Now, if you're gonna completely rid of the phone by 2030, what are you gonna replace that with? You know, and it's that chip. So Lord willing, Lord willing, things start to speed up, and they push this thing. They push that MOTB. Because we know once they push that MOTB, that's it. Things are gonna speed up. Jacob's trouble, all these things, all these signs that lead to the return of Yahweh Shai. Our deliverance out of this place, because we're sick and tired of it. So yeah, it goes into a little bit other stuff, but the AI it's taken over. The AI is taken over, and at the end of the day, the AI, digital ID, all these things lead to the MOTB. So that's going to do it for this lesson. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone, and peace, blessing, and safety to all the Akim out there who sincerely believe in this truth. Lord willing, until the next video, Shalom.